All right, so I am having another ET channeled group with the High Priest Vince. Hello, Vince.
Hey, how's it going?
And so we've already started our channeling session, and ETs have told us that they are coming to help us and empower us in terms of giving out the message of, what we've been doing. So, Vince, you had a personal question. If you're comfortable, you can go ahead and ask that, and I'll check in and see what answers they might have. By the way, thank you for being so generous and sharing your experience with others.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Um, so the question that I had was throughout my life, if I'm if I'm really honest with myself, there's been a lot of struggle and a lot of pain, and just like um, I don't want to sound like a like a crybaby, but there's been a lot of things that have affected my life in negative ways. And I was just wondering if the ETs had anything to say about that. Maybe it's a word of encouragement, or maybe it's something else.
Okay, let's see what I can pick up here. What would you like to say to High Priest Vince? He's going to understand a lot of things about the past, which have eluded him until now. And I'm not getting a clear. Say that again. I didn't quite catch that. He's going to understand where he came from, which will give him a lot of power. What he's experiencing now is an extremely high level experiment lesson, which of course you initiated. They're not experimenting on you, just
Right.
so that people know. I know you know that. So you volunteered for a very, very powerful, important experiment. And so they're always challenging. So it's not as challenging to your soul as it is to your human self. So that's not to take away the pain you're experiencing. It's just that's why our souls choose to, come here and do that.
Mm.
I know that's not necessarily answering your question. So let's see what else. What else would you like to tell Vince? They say he knows where we're going with this, and he doesn't understand his role in all of it yet. But what you've asked to do is to go to the depth of the human condition so that you will be able to be helpful to humanity. So this was a conscious choice on your part. So as a higher dimensional being, you're thinking about Earth and you have a very, very large role in the consciousness of the planet. And this might feel, it might sound difficult to accept based on our, myself included, our tiny little 3D lives. Nobody knows who we are. We're basically insignificant in terms of, 3D Earth.
Mm.
We exist or disappear. Nobody, the world won't ever know. That's how we experience it. But the truth is actually much different, is that you're a very important, very powerful architect of this world. And so you really wanted to experience the challenges of being a human so that you would be able to authentically um, understand and be able to help human souls evolve. Because, it, you know, we don't ask for help from people who don't understand what we've been through.
Mm.
So people will know that you know, and you'll be able to help them from both perspectives, from a higher perspective and from an experiential perspective.
Mm.
So what I get from your question, if I were to rephrase it, you can please correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like the question is, why have I gone through so much? Why has
Mm.
it been so painful? And you've asked that question numerous times. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So me giving you this answer, does that take away your need to ask the question? Be honest.
No.
No, doesn't really fix anything, does it?
No.
Yeah. So my experience is that why questions are about control.
Mm.
Like in relationships, if somebody, hurts you or cheats on you or something like that, people will say, "Why did you do that?"
Mm.
And the answer never, it's not like they go, "Oh, well, I was just bored," or "I can't handle commitment," or "You're horrible in bed," or "I got drunk." Whatever the answer is, the person doesn't go, "Oh, oh, okay. Oh, now I understand. Oh, I feel a lot better now." It never works out that way. They're
Mm.
still hurt, they're still furious, or, whatever it is. So
Mhm.
the why questions never really fix what's underneath all that,
Mm.
the pain.
Yeah.
So my experience is a more proactive question is how.
Mm.
I've had all this pain. How do I work through it? How do I overcome it? How do I, something that has a positive outcome?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, there isn't any answer to that question that's going to take you out of that pain. There's just no answer.
Mm. Yeah.
And there's also why questions have within them sort of a level of denial, because we wouldn't ask why
Mm.
if we didn't think like this is wrong. I don't deserve this. This shouldn't be happening. I don't want this here. Why is
Mm.
that there? Right? Like if my computer screws up on me, I'll go, "Why are you doing that?" It's not like I'm interested to know the mechanics of why it's doing that. It's I want it to stop.
Yeah.
I'm trying to gain control and, change. It's sort of denial of what's already here.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
that makes a
that's
lot of sense.
that's my 2 cents. Because I'm not you, so I haven't had your life and your experiences. I've had my own, and I'm having my own now. You know, I
Mm.
have my own issues in life now, and so I find acceptance. helps a lot. I mean, you know this from the 12-step programs.
Yeah.
Acceptance, extremely important.
Mm,
Because once we accept, then we can move forward. But if we're not in acceptance, then we can't even begin to move forward.
mm, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very powerful stuff.
I'm still here with you in this. I'm not trying to make this go away, you know. And I don't think the light beings are trying to make it go away. So we're still here for you to help you move forward, work through it.
Thanks.
So what more would you like to engage with on that topic?
Yeah. Um, no, just what you said made a lot of sense. And yeah, I think my focus should be more on like how to move forward. And I think I'm doing that in some senses.
I
Like,
think you're doing that. I think you're doing
yeah,
that a lot, not just in some senses. I mean, don't
mm,
be so hard on yourself. You're kicking ass.
yeah,
You're continuously taking action. You're continuously showing up for yourself.
mhm,
You follow direction. I mean, there's nothing more that you could be doing. So if you're got this feeling that you're not doing enough, I'm here to
mhm,
tell you, as a ringside, observer here, you are doing it.
mm,
You are doing the work.
yeah,
The people that I work with, I only have two real requirements.
mm,
And the first one is that they have respect for themselves and for me, which includes things like communicating and showing up and things like that. And you do that. And the only other requirement is that they follow suggestions to the best of their ability. The only two things I require of people.
mm,
And and I'm not saying that that's not something that I figured out. That's the way the universe works.
yeah, yeah,
That's all the universe requires is that we have respect for ourselves and for others, and that we follow follow suggestions from our heart.
mm, yeah,
And you're doing that. In
yeah,
fact, I would go on to say that you have exhibited more strength and uh, bravery and fearlessness than perhaps the majority of people I've worked with.
mm,
I mean, you've been around long enough, you've seen people come and go,
yeah,
right? So
yes,
either there was something about me that wasn't appealing to them or they weren't learning anything, or there are other reasons they're not here. And
yeah,
that's not for me to figure out. That's for them, but you've stuck it out and you keep this, and this is it. This is my experience of how this thing is that, it doesn't stop. We're always looking for, my brain does this, looks for that. If I just get this, then it'll all be okay.
mm,
And I've been doing this work for 40 years, and my brain still is looking for that one thing that's going to make it all okay. And then I can stop worrying about everything.
mm,
It never happens. Life is just continuously showing up and continuing to take action, continuing to be fearless and That's just the nature of being here on this planet,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
doing that. So it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be in pain. It's okay to, have any of those feelings.
Mm. Yeah, I guess probably one of my biggest drivers is just like not wanting to feel like pain and stuff. The things that I mean, obviously nobody wants that, but I mean, we all want to feel good all the time. Um, yeah, so that's one of the things that I'm trying to work on is just, I mean, because I got this from my mom too, a lot as a kid, where she was like, "Oh, you're having a negative feeling? Smack."
So what was that last part? I didn't quite catch that. So she would say what?
She would say, like, she would notice that I was having a negative feeling, like I would be angry with her, or just whatever it was. She would uh tell me that's not okay. That it was always making it like she perceived that I was making it about her.
Of course.
And so yeah, this like like I find myself still going back to like, okay, I gotta I gotta feel my crappy feelings. I gotta accept them. And a big part of me just, you know, goes back to the safety mechanism, which is basically, you know, don't feel anything. Uh, don't acknowledge anything's wrong, kind of stuff.
So what do you think? And I don't know the answer to this question. I'm just curious. Since this question has come up,
Mhm.
why have things been so hard for me? Um, when you ask the question, what kind of answer are you unconsciously wanting to hear?
Um, I think it's just like that it's, I think I'm wanting to hear that I'm incapable of making any kind of change.
Hang on,
And
stop, stop, stop.
Mhm.
So you wanted to hear that you're not capable of changing. Did I hear
Mhm.
that right?
Yeah.
So why would that make you feel better? If I said to you, I would never say that, but if I had said that to you, how would that bring you any kind of comfort?
Yeah, it's a backwards kind of thing. Um, I think part of me, you know, just really like I've been trying really hard to do some things and make some changes in my life. And, it's going at a snail's pace. I've been working my butt off on business stuff, on, just various things that I want in my life for like since for nearly like a decade at this point. And it just seems like nothing's really happening on a like no changes in my lifestyle, Um, no changes that like obviously there has been changes in my internal aspects of how I see myself and stuff. But like, yeah, so I think on one level, unconsciously I'm wanting to hear that, oh, I'm just incapable of making change because, so it's like, oh, that's why nothing's working.
Right. So, okay. So, I mean, we understand that that doesn't, I know that that's was there. I take it that part of you understands that doesn't sound very rational.
Yeah.
So, if I tell you the opposite, if you ask, why are things so bad? And I say, oh, here's the good news. You can change all of that. Now, on paper, that sounds like a good answer. Somebody would go, oh, I can? Oh, phew.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I feel so much better. But if we follow what you're saying, there's at least a part of you that's going to go, I don't want to hear that. That makes it worse. So why would somebody telling you that you had the power to change things, why would that be an unpleasant answer as opposed to well, it's because you just can't. This is the best you'll ever do. You can't do anymore, so stop trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I yeah, I think it's just I get tired and I beat myself up for not like feeling like I can do things within my life. So, it's like to the unconscious, it's like, oh well, not being able to make those changes, it gives me a reason to just okay, I you know, I did the best I could kind of thing. And then just stop.
So there's a part of you, so the rationality is that it's like, okay, phew, I can just stop trying. This is just a lot of work and I can just relax. This is it. Is that the feeling?
Yeah. Plus, I mean, yeah. Um, and I mean that comes from childhood stuff too.
Yeah, obviously. Um, yeah, so I'm not trying to analyze it. I'm just trying to um, just acknowledge that that's where that's coming from. That's wherever it's coming from, whatever caused it. That's the thought. The thought is, I
Mm.
just want to be told that I can stop trying.
Yeah.
So then the next, and listen, I'm 100% with you. I'm asking all these questions, but it's not like I don't completely relate to everything you're saying because I
Mm.
do.
Mm.
And I'm sitting here thinking, because I go through this on a daily basis. I really do.
Mm.
And thinking about, what I got to keep going. I got to keep evolving. I got to keep taking action. And the fear that comes from the thought
Mm.
of change and success. So if you were, the things that, and I'm not saying these things are or aren't going to happen, but like you mentioned your business and some other things. So if all of a sudden those things started to change in the direction that you wanted,
Mm.
would then that be a frightening experience?
Um, no,
No.
I
Oh, okay, good.
um, yeah, no, it would, because I've had periods where like things were going well. I had like a ton of clients, and um, yeah, I was really happy. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, all right. Thank you for sharing that. I, I don't need to dig any more into that unless you have other things you want to ask about it.
Um, no, this was good. I really
Okay.
appreciate that.
Well, I'm not done with our session. I want
Yeah.
to see now. Now we can begin moving forward.
Okay.
I'm getting
Yeah.
dizzy. You're walking around in my head.
Sorry. Gonna get some tissues here. Alrighty.
Okay, so are you where you want to be? Did you want to sit down or are you comfortable?
Yeah, I'll grab these tissues and then I'll go sit down. Alrighty.
So, while you're settling yourself, I want to ask the light beings if they have anything they'd like to share. It's interesting, I mean, communicating with light beings is interesting
Yeah.
because, my experience is that I doubt pretty much everything that comes to me from them.
Mm,
My head tells me I'm making it up. And when we started this conversation, they said they pretty much told me where this communication was going to go.
mm,
And it's interesting that it went exactly where they said it was going to go. I
mm.
didn't quite understand it at the time that they were communicating.
Wow.
But I guess that sort of leads in to the next thing that I want to talk about, which is, I mentioned the fear of what happens if you get what you want.
Mhm,
And that is definitely my experience with myself.
mm,
And even worse than that, the fear of what happens if we get what the light beings are saying, they want us to have.
mm,
So and my experience of having to continuously expand into that much larger vision. And that is probably the hardest thing to do. That's harder than starting a business and going from here to here, and fixing these little things in our life.
mm.
Those things can be challenging, but I find it much more challenging to expand to where the light beings are telling us that we're going and who we are.
Yeah.
And so, I have a vision of you, um, of being a very powerful priest
Mm,
in
yeah.
this, working with people and spreading that incredible heart energy that you have and giving that to people and allowing them to experience that.
Mm,
No, that's my vision based on, our previous experiences with the light beings. But what if, and in one of our sessions, you actually showed up in like a monk's robe. Remember
yeah.
that? You were wearing the necklaces and all that.
Yeah.
And I liked that. I liked seeing you that way. And
Yeah.
so I kind of had this image of you working with a lot of people, kind of like being I don't know what kind of, you know, uh, some kind of a bodhisattva or something working with people.
Mm.
So I'd like to see that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I would too.
All right, let's see what else. What else would the light beings like to say? Okay, so they're saying they like where this is going. They say that I'm right on track with what they wanted to talk about. Anyway, so they're saying nice things to me that I'm responding the way that they want. So I thank you for that. All right, so I'm just going to take it one word at a time because I don't understand where this is going. So when we come to help you, it's not because we don't understand where you are. We come to help you because we know you can only handle one bit of information at a time. And if we were to give you the whole picture, it would overwhelm you. But it's important to us that you understand how powerful your presence is on this world, even though you think nobody knows you exist. We've come to give you something today. So they want to give us some energy right now. So would you like to receive that?
Yes, please.
I would also like that. Okay, so here it comes. I'm feeling a little bit, I'm feeling some energy coming down into my heart.
Yeah.
I'm finding that it increases if I consciously open myself up to it. And then they say, we're going to help you empower the world. You're so close to us, you have no idea how powerful you are and how powerful you are together. What is this? If you'd like, we can help pull the something like pull the lever or pull the cork of something. And I get the feeling they're talking about you.
Mm. Yes, please.
So it would mean a huge shift for you that might be, for lack of a better word, challenging. So you'd have to go places you don't normally go. So they're asking if you would like their help in that. So it's like a huge, something huge to be released. Would you
Yes,
like?
absolutely. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, we're going to come work with you on this. So it's going to be over time. They'll work with you in interdimensional meditation to make a big shift. So it's important that that you understand what we've discussed today, which is that previous question
Mm.
is like a mindset and it locks you in place. Why has this happened? Why me? That question, and so when we looked through it, we saw that that question isn't looking to solve the problem. It's looking to keep you in it
Mm.
because, and I appreciate your bravery and your honesty. Looking into it, you realize that the question is that you want to be told that you can't change it. That's so that question is designed to get that answer, which is why you kept asking it and why any answers never really solved the problem.
Yeah.
So, so what they're saying is that the power that they want to give you and the transformation will come from a different conscious mindset on your part.
Mm.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, the basic is to go from why to how,
Mm.
whatever, and the assumption that everything can change. Because the other assumption of your question, which was in there, is that nothing's going to change. It's impossible to change. So I want to be told that
Mm. Yeah.
because probably because, I think there's some other reasons, but among others is so because it's understandable. I understand that. That's been my experience, so I understand it.
Yeah.
So yeah, going to the place of, okay, anything can change. And how can I move forward? And being open to change to become somebody completely different.
Mm.
Being willing to not be attached to even the positive projections of here's where I want to go, this is what I want to do.
Mm.
What if what they want is something even bigger than that, huger than that?
Yeah. Mm.
Okay. Did I explain it? Say, yes, he's going to undergo a major transformation.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we're looking forward to seeing our guide and our priest. So there's a tremendous amount of knowledge and wisdom that you have.
Mm.
You may not be aware of yet.
Mm.
But from my experience, lots of times when we're doing these channeling groups,
Mm.
um, you have oftentimes just been a very stable, powerful, supportive presence. You don't
Mm.
say a lot sometimes, but your power and your presence surrounds the group.
Mm.
And so I think it's important that you understand that about yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, what else? Okay, they seem pretty happy with all that. So, unlike me, they know when to stop. I sometimes overwhelm people, and they know when to stop. Do you have any thoughts or any questions for me or for them?
Um, yeah, it's like I definitely felt that energy in my heart center and just like it's almost like a weight being lifted off my shoulders. So
Mm.
it's yeah, you know, I think doing the qigong stuff, um, I was I was doing that along with recording astrology videos every day. That's my two practices that I would do alongside each other. And it's crazy because I would go on my channel, not really thinking about much, not really researching a subject or uh, whatever I was talking about. I just knew I needed to talk about sign and house placement, and I would just I would just channel information.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, and then even dealing with clients and stuff, things would just come to me.
yeah,
And yeah, so
yeah. I believe it. I've experienced that too. Yeah, astrologers are channelers. A true astrologer, he's looking, or he or she is looking at the chart, and then they'll start to get ideas. The placement of the planets will take them in places. But it's really just an excuse. Looking at the chart really is just an excuse for the mind to connect and channel information.
yeah,
And I absolutely believe you have that power. There's something else I wanted to say, but it fell out of my head, and I can't remember. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing your experience. Anything else you'd like to share?
um, yeah, um, so I've been doing, um, like, yeah, I've been doing these meditations, and I was curious to, I think I told you about this on Friday in our last session, but when I did the three ones meditation, it was basically a interdimensional, not the traditional three ones meditation that you teach, but it was just interdimensional meditation. And I wanted to go see the three ones, and I was wondering if the higher self like told me some really crazy cool things.
Like
And
what?
uh, um it was just very loving and kind. I can't remember exactly, but he was just like, he just saw me as this beautiful, perfect being, and just yeah, saw the best in me. So um yeah, I was wondering if the light beings could maybe tell me like what are some gifts that I have or that I'm coming into, or just anything really that they want to tell me.
Okay. Let's see what they have to say about that. So um, there's kind of reminding us that some of the things that I've already said, they see
Mm,
that you're a much more powerful, heart-centered priest, and priest in the traditional sense, where the priest is literally the conduit for the divine,
mm,
and that you have it that that's where you can go to really explore the power of that. So, in other words, imagine being able to completely change the entire world simply with the power of your heart center.
mm,
expanding that energy and what is a deficit in our third dimensional society, to be incredibly sensitive, that's a negative. You're too vulnerable, all that.
yeah,
So if you flip that on its head, allowing yourself to be sensitive and increasing that sensitivity, increasing that love, the desire to connect. You have a strong desire to connect, increasing that, allowing that to increase, that will become pure power.
mm,
And we've been taught that it's the opposite. So this might be challenging in the beginning because you'll have to bump up against feelings of having a lot of intense feelings, having a strong desire to connect with people, which might bring the feeling of being isolated and alone and rejected, right?
mhm, yeah,
So if you can, again, flip that on its head and give to everybody else what you want for yourself, right? So
mm,
the third dimensional negative side would be somebody waiting around to find love or needing to, and you
mm,
turn it around, you make yourself into this deity like the three ones meditation.
mm,
You become this powerful deity that just releases unconditional love into the world, giving to everybody all of the things that you'd like for yourself. And the feeling I get is you may not understand how powerful that is
mm,
and how much power you have. And oh, I remember what I wanted to say earlier was that, that feeling of, you know, it's not going to change and there's nothing you can do about it. I get the feeling that's an old feeling from 13,000 years ago. That's what you
mm,
told yourself in order to stay down here when everything fell. So that became, like you said, a weight on you. And
yeah,
that's why your unconscious instinct is to ask questions that you want to be told that nothing can change. This is it. This is the most I'll ever be. And that was really a self-limiting decision that you made to deal with that huge, downward shift that we humans had. So we're
mm,
going in the opposite direction now. So now you can tell yourself something completely different, which is, you can make it up, but I mean, if we take this is it, nothing can change, and we turn it around, it's like this is just the beginning, and everything can change.
mm,
And I can change the world with my sensitivity, with my love, with my deep desire to connect. That can change the whole world.
mm,
Now, I'm not saying that's what it is for you. I'm just giving
yeah,
you examples.
yeah.
You know what I
Thank
mean?
you. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just checking to see if there's anything else. And by the way, the what you mentioned, the three ones meditation,
Mhm.
that is in the Warrior 90-day Lightning Qigong. That's in the phase 3. And there's a mantra and all kinds of other cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that three ones meditation, just to let everybody know, it's an incredibly old meditation. It's over 2,000 years old. And it was designed when people so that people could literally shift to a higher frequency. They called
Mm,
it becoming a perfected immortal, is the way they called it. And they also said that when you really perfected that meditation, that a chariot from the sky would come and take you in the full light of day and take you up to heaven, which is a really poetic way of saying that you would achieve a light body and shift.
mm,
So. it does not surprise me that a variation of that meditation was that powerful for you. So, in case anybody wants to know what you're talking about, go to
Yeah,
thunderwizard.com and subscribe to the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong, and that's in phase 3.
yeah. The 90-day lightning qigong, for anyone who, you know, wonders about it, like, do it. Like, you will not be disappointed. It has done such tremendous things for my life. And, I was in a very dark place before. And thankfully, I was able to, with the help of those practices, I was able to um, pull myself out of that. So, very good stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, my experience as well. Thank you for your testimonial there. Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
Okay, so I kind of feel like we've reached the end of our light being connection. Um, Anything else you'd like to add?
Um, no, I just so grateful for you, man.
No, thank you.
Like, yeah, these appointments are just very special to me. So yeah,
I'm glad.
and yeah, you see me for me. I mean, I've never really had anybody else really like do that. who could like, you know, put their stuff aside and really just be there for me. So I thank you for that.
My privilege. Thanks for sharing that. I'm glad that that's your experience. That is definitely my intention and my desire.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell people your YouTube channel,
I am Gebo the Shaman on YouTube. That's Gebo the
just like it
Shaman.
says right there, Gebo the Shaman. And then you have a website, gebotheshaman.com. I see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And just to let anybody know, there's multiple ways to have these sessions with me, channeled sessions, and those can be found in the memberships section of thunderwizard.com, the Patreon site. Anyway, okay, very good. All right, my brother, I look forward to updates on your upcoming expansion.
Yeah.
Watching that heart center explode all over the universe. I can't wait to see more of that. And I appreciate you being such a tremendous inspiration and example for the rest of us. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah. Love you, man.